Confidence Network for the strong, not the weak.
Escaping this. No 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 escaping this.
Podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man HRap.
My name is James Bevel. I was born in rural Idabena, Mississippi on October 19, 1936. I grew up mostly in rural Thor County, Mississippi, and in Cleveland, Ohio. After serving in the U.S. Navy, I attended the American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, Tennessee. While I attended the seminary, I became involved with the student movement and participated in the Nashville sit-in movement along with other future civil rights leaders like Diane Nash, Marion Barry, and Bernard Lafayette. I was also a part of the Freedom Rides in 1961. After the riders were attacked in Alabama, the Congress of Racial Equality suspended the rides. Diane Nash and I urged CORE to continue the rides, and we recruited more riders to finish the rides. I was arrested for trying to desegregate the bus terminal in Jackson, Mississippi. While I was in the Jackson jail, Bernard Lafayette and I initiated the Mississippi voting rights movement. At the time, we faced violent resistance and we were forced to regroup. Our efforts paid off in the long run and eventually paved the way for Freedom Summer in 1964. In 1962, I traveled to Atlanta to meet with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a minister who was the head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Dr. King and I reached an agreement about directing the SCLC. We led the organization as equals, agreeing to work until segregation was ended, African Americans had voting rights, and all children had access to a quality education. I became the director of direct action and the director of nonviolent education for the SCLC, and Dr. King was the chairman and the spokesperson. As a member of the SCLC, I organized several of the most influential events of the civil rights movement. The first was the Birmingham Children's Crusade. As many adults were unwilling to take part in protests due to work obligations, many high school and college students volunteered to take part in the protest. I directed students, 50 at a time, to walk to City Hall to ask the mayor about segregation. Bull Connor, the city commissioner for public safety, ordered hoses and German Shepherd dogs be used on peaceful protesters. National and international media got a hold of pictures of the police using hoses and attack dogs on peacefully protesting children and caused an outrage. President Kennedy drafted a civil rights bill, and Bull Connor was forced to leave his position in Birmingham. On February 16, 1965, protester named Jimmy Lee Jackson was shot dead by an Alabama state trooper while defending his mother from an attack. We were outraged that such a young man could be killed with such impunity. On March 7, 1965, the SCLC and I decided to walk from the city of Selma to Montgomery to protest the injustice of his death and pressure Governor Wallace to support voting rights. When we reached the Edmund Pettus Bridge, we were attacked by Alabama state troopers. We were gassed and beaten by the police, and the federal government had to step in to protect us. But when we arrived in Montgomery on March 25th, 25,000 protesters had joined us in our fight. In 1966, we moved north and set our sights on Chicago. The SCLC and I started the Chicago Open Housing Movement. Our aim was to end slums in the city, create tenant unions, and to keep public housing safe and habitable for children. These protests provided a catalyst for the Fair Housing Act, which was passed in 1968. After that, the SCLC began to focus its efforts on ending American involvement in the Vietnam War. I chaired the Spring Mobilization Committee to end the war in Vietnam. We recruited a large, diverse pool of members and led simultaneous anti-war marches in New York and San Francisco on April 15, 1967. In October 1967, I organized a march on the Pentagon, which became one of the largest anti-war marches of the 1960s, drawing tens of thousands of protesters and members of the growing counterculture movement. I largely retired from the civil rights movement after Dr. King's death in 1968. In the 1980s, I expressed support for conservative politicians like Ronald Reagan and Lyndon LaRouche. In 1995, however, I came out of retirement to organize the Million Man March on Washington, D.C. with Louis Farrakhan. That was the last event I organized in my life. I passed away on December 19, 2008 with pancreatic cancer. I was laid to rest in Utah, Alabama. Even though I may not be there to see it, my legacy still carries on. I was even part of the movie Selma, where I was portrayed by hip-hop artist Common.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whichever one fits. Applied, I am HRap. This is the End of the Bench podcast. Thank you for tuning in. As you see on the screen, I need you to hit the like button, need you to share, need you to hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tune in. If I sent you a link, send it to at least one person. Please, 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 thank you. Again, this is on Built for This Network. This is a network, not just a podcast. It's a movement. So go to Spreaker.com or wherever you choose to download your podcast. We're all over the place, wherever you want to be, wherever the podcast, wherever you're comfortable download them. Please subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I acknowledge my parents, my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, nephews, and cousins, and everybody connected to the Pollard, Whitmore, Turner battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Chris, Lansdowne, Ligon, Shaw, Thompson, Duncan, and you know me, my mother, my brother, my sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews. We are the Williams clan. We're always in the building. He's above me. My mother's above me. My grandparents on both sides above me. That's why I started in with my mother's last name and my father's last name. Sorry, blame Comcast. Don't blame me. But we're in a bad situation, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a bad situation. We are on the precipice of an issue, and we are not even paying attention to it. First and foremost, how you get rid of an issue like this is paying attention to what's going on in your life. Paying attention to what's going on around you is key. If you're not paying attention, you're killing yourself. You can't blame the man in the system if you're not going to educate yourself and enhance your own self. We all fall short. I'm king of procrastination. I write out my shows maybe 2 hours for the show, and I don't know why I do it that way. I just do it that way. So that's procrastination. That's something I'm working on. But the procrastination that we're working on is we're destroying ourselves. And I don't mean these fictitious, nonsensical rules like, well, black on black crime is out of control, or black people need to stop doing this to each other. I don't pay attention to that nonsense because World War I, World War II, the mafia, all three of them, the Jewish mafia, the Irish mafia, the Italian mafia, and anybody else who participates in criminality in the United States of America, they kill each other. Therefore, the behavior of human beings is to hurt and destroy each other. So don't talk to me about black on black crime. But what I want to talk about is trauma porn that we continue to share. What's trauma porn? Trauma porn is these videos that we consistently share of us hurting each other. Hurting each other is not the move. And if you're going, why are you showing videos of this? See, the thing is, what you do is reinforce stereotypical, nonsensical ideals about you and your brothers and your sisters by showing them only in violence. What we have to do is stop doing that. Last week, one of the most trifling things in the history of Earth. It is one of the most trifling things. Not the first time it's happened, but it's just the most recent. A woman in Philadelphia was raped for 20 train stops, and people did not stop this man from sexually assaulting this woman. They pulled up cameras and recorded it. You have to be the lowest form of humanity and the sorriest man, one of the sorriest men in the history of the earth, to watch somebody rape somebody. See, these are the things. This is why people look at us like we're crazy. This is why you buy into this nonsensical thing. I'm gonna do a science project with you guys, and I want you to see how it works. Yellow. I'm gonna prime everybody. I'm gonna even tell you what I'm doing. I'm priming you. Yellow. So what we're gonna do is have a scientific experiment at the end of it, and you're gonna see how even you, some of the strongest minded people who you think you are, you think you got everything on the ball, and you're prepared to be primed. Yellow. Right? Now, as I move forward with this, we have to stop doing this. We have to stop recording things like this. At one point in my life, there's no way in hell that men in any community that walk the face of the earth would allow a woman to be sexually assaulted for one train stop, let alone 20. What type of behavior is this? And this is the watch me behavior. Everyone wants to be part of something. I want to be world star. I want to be on Facebook and Twitter and whatever the hell you want to be on. Look, man, you lose your manhood card with me if you watch somebody get sexually assaulted. And I'm not with the black and the white thing, the gray, the orange, or whatever tribe you subscribe to. This is a human being assaulted. This is something that will follow this person for the rest of her life. As a matter of fact, things like this make you not even want to live anymore because you've taken a piece of this person's humanity. So while people get upset and talk about drug abuse and you selling poison in the community, if you allow a woman to be sexually assaulted in public, that might be the lowest point I could think of in recent history. I know it has happened in the past, it's happened in Europe, but this happened in Philadelphia, allegedly the city of brotherly love. No shots at the city of brotherly love, no shots at anybody in the city of brotherly love, but it's a damn shame that you allow somebody to be sexually assaulted like that in public. In public. We must learn how to protect these women. First and foremost, that is your job. Grab food, protect the tribe. Man. And another assault that's being put on women is the fact that you have people in the LGBTQ community that want to be respected. I have a problem with respecting you and your choices. If you subscribe to the fact that the creator of the universe put you in the wrong body and you're a woman, but you were put in a man's body, that's how you feel, man. I don't have no problem with that. If you want to be called madam, ma'am, her, they, or whichever pronoun you want to be addressed as, I will do so. But this all on assault by calling these people women, I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to that. If you believe the creator made a mistake, okay, that's between you and God. I'm not going to disrespect you. It's kind of like the Muhammad Ali, Ernie Terrell thing, what's my name? I understand. You're going to be respected as that. But they're trying to eliminate the double X chromosome people that walk the face of the earth, the people who populate the earth itself. I'm not homophobic, and if you think I am, I don't give a damn. I'm tired of it because I see things differently. I don't have a phobia or anything. I'm claustrophobic. That's what the hell that's the only phobia I have, claustrophobia. But women are women. If you identify as a woman, you identify as a woman, and you have the right to. You have the right to. I'm not going to say that you're bad. I'm not going to say anything, but it's a lot of things that women go through. And y'all not going to just step up within the last 25, 30 years and say, hey, man, science allows me to look the way I want to look. And you got the right to do that, but look, we have to come up with another way. You have to be a trans woman. And for all the people that sit around and say black men like myself, they're transphobic, they're homophobic. Me and my man Ray the Care was having a conversation last night. We were talking about TV. One of the biggest TV shows in the most recent years is Orange is the New Black. If you watch TV at a large clip, more than likely you watched and liked and enjoyed Orange is the New Black. I didn't see a lot of people hating on that brother who's a trans man who was in Orange is the New Black. He was a woman. He was a man as a woman in a woman's prison. I don't remember a lot of people, oh man, get this dude. No, because when you part of the lexicon, nobody cares. That's your get down. See, adults mind their own damn business. But when we want to objectify women, first and foremost, their pay. And see, that's a white supremacist ideal, to pay women less. That's white supremacy at its best. And as I stated on the podcast last night, on the forecast last night, this is white supremacy traveling over to womanhood, because a lot of these trans men are white. And then they transition to these women, and then they bring along white privilege with them. But no, you can't dance in both arenas. I'm sorry. You are not a woman. You can identify as a woman. I can identify as a billionaire, but if I go my ass to Chase, they're going to say, man, you got about $900 and you better get the hell up out of here, son. But I identify. So that's the way it works, man. The reality of the situation is this. You feel that God put you in the wrong body, I'm going to respect you as that. But to put you on the pedestal of my mother, my grandmothers, my great-grandmothers, my aunts, my cousins, my nieces, sorry. Because they do things, they've gone through specific things that you have not gone through, and you will never go through. You can look like anything you want to. They got skin bleaching cream that I can cut off all my hair, and I can look like a white man, but I'm still be a brother. I'm still be a brother. I could conduct myself as a stereotypical white man would, and I could blend in and pass. But as I let this hair grow out, and Mother Africa gonna show off these lips and this big ass nose that I have, and it's over. They gonna say, "Hey, Rap, that's HRap. He's not the white guy he's pretending. He's not Tom Sindoikis. I knew a dude named Greg Sindoikis, so I use that. But he's not that. And look, man, you can be what you want to be. Rachel Dolezal, she can identify as a black woman, but she's not. You can identify as a woman, but you're not, because it's certain things to be a part of my culture, my community, or whoever you want to be, that we're not just gonna rock with that. And you can't wake up and say, "Hey, I'm this." No, it does not work that way. Science will not allow that. Mother Africa will not allow that. You know, like my man Kwame Ture say, you can get all the permanents you want, but in 4 months, your hair gonna get nappy again, and you're gonna realize it was a temporary. And look, I respect every human being that walks the face of the earth with the utmost, but you are not a woman under no circumstances. And y'all can cancel Dave Chappelle, and y'all can cancel anybody who disagrees. But if you come to this table and you cut yourself open, you're not gonna see fallopian tubes. You're not gonna see a uterus. You're not gonna have the eggs in your body. You cannot produce milk. You do not have you don't have all the ingredients. And if you don't have all the ingredients, you're not that. There's some women that are unable to have children, but guess what? They still go through menopause. That's another thing women go through. Like I said last night on the show, every human being on the planet goes through this thing called puberty. It's a chaotic point in your life. You don't know what the hell's going on in your body scientifically. You know, you wake up with a beard, you wake up with a mustache, you wake up with breasts when you're a woman, wake up with hips, things of that nature. Your body changes. Chemistry is all over the place. Women go through that same thing in reverse later on in life. Miss Trans woman. You're not going to do that. They can't give you no pills to put you through menopause. And if science is advanced to the point that you can do that, they can supplant a uterus into a man, you're still not that. Because guess what? I could take some drugs and become a super athlete, but I'm not a super athlete because I took something to become that. If you have to work at it, you're not that. I'm sorry. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Now, with that being said, getting into the meat of the conversation. If you're looking at this, if you're listening to this on the Spreaker.com side, you notice I said education is our job. What I mean by education is our job is this. The education of our young black men and women is our job. Not the damn school system, not the CPS if you're here in Chicago, the APS in Atlanta, the NYCDPS or whatever, wherever you are, the LAPCS or whatever the hell, however y'all describe it, public school system in your city. It's not their job. And let me keep it funky with you. These are not my thoughts. I mean, they're my thoughts, but this is inspired by people like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Kwame Ture, and a host of other elders that come before me who I read their writings and things of that nature. I want to take you into a situation like this. I really want you to think about what I'm saying before you get outraged or before you disagree. What we like to do in our community is always compare ourselves. Well, the Latino people wouldn't do this. The white folks wouldn't do that. Or the Jewish people wouldn't do that. So, okay, well, let's do this then. I'm going to go along with it. It usually annoy the hell out of me when people do that, but we're going to do it for the day. Would the Jews allow the damn Nazis to teach their children? Hell no. Hell no, they wouldn't. But we send our kids to the Nazis every day. We send our children to the Nazis every day. Carter G. Woodson, 1933. He said the public school program is perfect for the descendants of slave owners, not the descendants of people who were enslaved. And that shit was right. We sent our kids to be indoctrinated into a system that would trap them into poverty. We sent our children into a sphere in which all they can do is learn how great white people are. This thing called, it's a bill, House Bill 3979 in one of my favorite places in America, which is the great state of Texas. And they against this thing called critical race theory. Let's debunk that thing right there. Critical race theory is just a line of thinking so you, as a person of a formerly ancestor of a person who was formerly enslaved, will look at the world and look around you and see what's going on. First and foremost, the people who are against this are why, I have a college degree, I've never used it. I have a degree in criminal justice. The only thing I've done in my life that's close to criminal justice is breaking laws. I ain't never got caught, so none of that. I'm lying. But here's the thing, man. We do this critical race theory. This is a college. This is a master's level course. It's not high school. 12 freshman year through 17, 14 through 18 years old. It's not that. It's not college. 18 through 22. It's the master's level. Postgraduate. It's a postgraduate line of thinking. It's critical thinking. All it is saying, take a look at the country around you or be lazy. Look at the documentary on HBO called Exterminate the Brutes. Be lazy and do that. And I guarantee you, watch Exterminate the Brutes on HBO, you'll go looking into it. Be lazy, folks. Go to YouTube. You don't have to immerse yourself in a book and read and turn. I'm sick of this. I don't get it. I don't understand. Watch the documentary, Exterminated Brutes on HBO, and you'll understand. It's about understanding the situation, this settler project, this settler colonial criminal enterprise called the United States of America, and see how they have broken laws, their own laws, they've broken treaties, their own treaties, and they've killed, murdered, maimed, and killed people throughout the entire situation, and then don't talk to me about doing what I'm doing. See what I'm saying? If I'm a liar, I can't talk to you about being a liar, because I lie too. And that's what critical race theory is. This education process teaches you that George Washington never lied. Lie. Because George Washington got the people who were in control of the country got you believing George Washington freed all the slaves. He only had like 50 slaves, or 50 people enslaved, because they're not slaves, they're people. He only had like 50. His wife had over 400. He ain't leave them alone. Owner Judge. Look up that name. Owner Judge. Owner Judge escaped from being in bondage and told them, I'm not coming back. And George was pissed. It's documented. They told you that George Washington had wooden teeth. Do you think some man set his ass up and carved out 32 teeth when the dental industry wasn't even what it is now? Hell no. What George Washington did, go to the Library of Congress or just Google it. It's documented. This dude took teeth out of our ancestors' mouths and put them probably into some paste or some clay or something, and then he was eating that way. Abraham Lincoln, like black people, no, he didn't. Even though you don't deserve to be slaves, this is paraphrased, but you ain't good enough to be in this country. That's why he set aside $400 for every enslaved African to go back to Liberia. He's not your friend, but this is what you're told. Benjamin Franklin, he discovered electricity with the key and the damn string and electricity. If that really would have happened, his ass would have blew the fuck up. But they teach you that in school. Thomas Jefferson was a good dude. Thomas Jefferson was a rapist and a child molester. He had a 14-year-old woman who had several children by her, and he even took her to Europe. That's interstate trafficking. You go to jail for that. But they don't see us as humans. See, that's why critical race theory is so important. That's why critical race theory is so important, my brothers and sisters. Because if you are not able to understand what you've lived through, what your people have lived through, what you're living through right now, what epigenetically is part of your DNA, guess what? If you're alcoholic, it's probably a member of your family who was alcoholic and was drinking to deal with the bullshit that's going on around here. And your grandmother or your great-great-grandmother was getting raped, or saw your great-great-grandfather get raped or torn in half, or walking down the street having to hold your head down, can't look somebody in their damn face, or a house burned down, or you got to leave town because your sister or your wife got accosted and you beat the hell out of them. Yeah, my big mama. My big mama, that happened to her. Yeah. So these are the things that you deal with. These are coping mechanisms that we have to deal with. So, oh man, he's just bad. Guess what? More than likely he got that bad gene from somebody who raped his grandmother. See what I'm saying? These are things that we don't know about that we deal with every day. If you're a drug addict, it could be because it was a coping mechanism of an ancestor. Today, you got to deal with these things, man. But see, we've never addressed these problems. Therefore, we point the finger. See, HRap, you bad because you use profanity. By the way, cursing in the Bible is saying, I hope you get hit by a donkey or a lion eats you or something bad happens to you. It wasn't no MFers in the Bible. FU wasn't part of the lexicon back then. UMF or KMA, kiss my blank. That wasn't part of the conversation back then. So they couldn't have been talking about that. A curse is wishing poor health on you, a pox on you and your ancestors. I hope you get a plague. That's cursing. See, we have to educate. See, we don't know these things because we allow somebody else to educate us. See, Brown vs. Boardway, won by our great ancestor, Thurgood Marshall, in theory was awesome. But if you put 10 black teachers in the school and you put 10 white teachers in the school, 8 of those black teachers going to be down with them kids because they see those kids as they see their own. 2 of them going to be some suckers. Maybe, okay, 2 of them going to be some suckers and 1 of them going to be confused and trying to buy into the nonsense, right? And it's just the opposite in the other direction. And it's not that they don't care. It's not their kid. Because they bought into the television. They were animals. They were mongrels. And were criminals. But how did we get here? Animalistically, we were captured. Treated like chattel and cattle and animals. We were raped. So who's the monsters? Who's the monsters? We're not going to do this, people. I'm telling you. We're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to do this. We're going to educate our own people. We must educate our own people. And I figured out what we're going to talk about on the panel tomorrow. We're going to talk about this same thing, educating our people. Educating, how do we educate our kids? Is it time for us to go back into segregation, self-segregation until you have to self-segregate when you are repairing yourself. You can't kick it at the club and try to stop drinking. It don't work. You can't sit around smoke weed with your buddies if you're trying to detox. All your buddies around you smoking weed and drinking, you trying to detox. It don't work that way. It's not going to be successful. It don't. If you can't hang around me if you don't want to procrastinate. Because I tell you, man, I'm going to wait till the last 5 minutes to do everything, man. I'm going to tell you something about me. If I need to be there, it's 6:32. If somebody say, if I live 30 minutes away from somebody and I live and it's taking me 30 minutes to get there, I'm leaving out at 6:40. I don't give a damn, unless it's my mama, because I ain't feel like hearing it. My grandmama, I ain't feel like hearing it. My Aunt Ernestine, she going to stay on my back. But if it's somebody else, I'm standing up. I'm gonna be 10 minutes away from the minute you call me. Say, how close are you? 10 minutes away. I'm gonna be 22 minutes away. I'm just letting you know. Anybody who ever got a ride for me, they know I'm sure late. Anybody who ever gonna date me, if you want to be at the movies at 7:00, tell me the movie start at 6:30, and then I'm gonna get there around 6:45, and we're gonna get there on time. Only way it's gonna happen. So you don't be around people who contribute to the destruction of you. And this is a humanities thing, man. This is a humanities thing. This is my tribe. I got to look out for my folks. Because ain't nobody looking out for my folks. You got the damn idiot box, a.k.a. the television, telling you that I'm a criminal. How am I a criminal? You captured me. The people who are behind this. And then that's why I keep telling y'all we got to register to vote. We got to get people. We got to teach our kids civics. See, that's the thing. That's why who's teaching our kids? Because see, if you really care about my kids, you teach my kids civics. You teach my kids civics. Like I told y'all last week. Are you learning the game to play it, or you learn the game to win it? You learn the rules to win the game. And we're not trying to win. We're just trying to play. We're trying to go along to get along. Shout out to the young brother Kwame Brown. Going along to get along ain't gonna cut it no more because we losing. We continue to damn lose because we don't know the game. See, Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan went with the voting at first. Then he saw a good brother he thought was a good brother. And he said, we're going to rock with this dude. And then the dude sold him out. Him and our elder, Baba Jeremiah Wright, here in Chicago, Illinois, one of the greatest elders ever. He sold him out for the system. But we can learn the system. The system is out there for us to learn. Are you willing to get up off your ass and learn the system? See, one of the dope things about our brothers who have been incarcerated on them damn prison camps, on them slave camps, it ain't no damn prison. It's a slave camp. It's a death camp. Because the recidivism rate is nothing. You're not doing anything to fight against the recidivism rate. You're not giving these young brothers counseling, older brothers counseling. You ain't giving these sisters no counseling, younger and older sisters counseling. So how they going to get out and be better? And then you crown them with that felony. And it follows them around. You've labeled me. I'm a felon. No, I'm not. I'm a human being that broke the law. What are laws in America? Stop it. 1863, you freed the people, gave us all the rights. A little while after that, you had to go with the 14th Amendment. But I thought you did in 1863. And then, 100 years later, you did it again in 1965. So, what are these, lies? See, that's the thing. If the law's on the books, it don't make a difference what the laws are. My man Ray Kev is a gun enthusiast. He got me on the gun kick. There's enough laws on the books. See, I did a little research. There's enough laws on the books. Chicago has some of the most stringent gun laws in America, but bang, bang, people still get shot. Guess why? As my man Tran said on the show last week, if it bleeds, it leads. And then put you in the mind state of us. I proved it last year on Big Illinois podcast. What is it called? The Backyard. I told y'all. I said, hey, me and Big Illinois, before the show, we had like a pregame fist fight. You know, we were talking about the show. I said, Big Illinois, check this out, fam. You know, those 56 people, they got shot in Chicago the 4th of July in 2020. That was all over the city. See, Chicago being one of the most segregated cities in America, you won't know it until you see it. You won't know it until you see it. If you get shot on North Avenue in California, more than likely, you're part of the Latino community. If you get shot on just a quarter mile away on Grand and Division, it's called the Ukraine Village. They ain't calling that because there's a lot of brothers over there. You get shot on Racine and Roosevelt Road, it's a bunch of brothers over there. See, we know if you're in Chicago, you know where you are, but there's people all over the city getting shot. But when you say shot, black people. But guess what? I had the displeasure of bonding out my cousin, God rest his soul, Vincent Williams, one year. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, went to night court, bonded him out. I'm sitting there. I saw everybody in the country coming through there. Latino people, Asian people, white people, black people, Africans, foreigners, killing, murder, rape, killing, murder, rape, and most of them wasn't black. But when you say crime, you think black. That's because y'all allow them to teach you that you're bad. Yellow. Remember I told y'all, we're doing a science experiment tonight. Y'all are part of it. I need y'all to be in the chat room. If you're in the chat room, be attentive, please. Yellow. Because of what I'm doing is priming you. I'm priming you. What is a prime? I'm setting you up. Just like painting. You prime a car, and then you paint it. I'm priming you. And then you're going to realize how easy it is to be primed. Something as juvenile as what I'm doing can prime you. Yellow. Because these things are happening. That's why critical race theories, House Bill 3739, or what is it? Where's my notes? 3979 in Texas. You cannot teach the critical race theory. Let me show you how insane this is. How these people are fighting so their wicked ways won't be shown to the world. If you live in Texas and you're a school teacher and you teach about the Jewish Holocaust, the World War II, Jewish Holocaust, right? You teach about that. The law is now you have to have a book to show the antithesis of that. Well, show what else? The other argument. How is it another argument against killing black people first? See, yeah, they never told you that, did you? They ain't tell you that they killed black people first. They killed the Ethiopian Jews first. They ain't tell you that in school, though, did they? That's why critical race theory teaches you to explore the entire world before you point your finger and hate somebody. Don't be stupid. Because I'll talk about that later. The ignorance is the key, man. Stop hating yourself. You're not bad. You're not genetically predisposed to criminality. You're not genetically predisposed to drug abuse, alcoholism, and sexism, and then all the other isms out there. You're not genetically predisposed to that. If you were genetically predisposed to any of those things, we'd be running this country right now because it's always been more of us than them. I didn't know that, did you? Because you look at your boy, Dr. Henry Louis Gates. Anybody know me know I'm not the biggest fan of Henry Louis Gates, but Black Thought, y'all know I'm a hip-hop head. I love hip-hop music, hip-hop culture. Black Thought, the super MC from Philadelphia, he had his genealogy done by Dr. Henry Louis Gates. Found out that you could trace Black Thought's family here to the 1300s. I thought they didn't get here to 1492. So what the hell was Black Thought's family doing here? Mansa Musa used to travel in a crew of 70,000 draped in gold. See, you thought, oh man, these rappers look stupid. No, actually, they tapping into their ancestral beings. I keep telling y'all, man, the ancestors walk with us at all times. Mansa Musa, 70,000 people laid out, sharp as a tack. As you say in the west side of Chicago, casket sharp. Gold, jewels. They used to send people over here. Send people to southern Illinois for maize, a.k.a. corn. And they would send sweet potatoes over here. How about that? But they teach you that we were bought over here. We were here already. See, only thing they do is teach you that through the Magellan Straits, people from Asia walked over the continent that is now separated, Russia to Alaska, and then walked into America. But we were on the west, it was on the east coast already, kicking it, chilling, going back and forth. See, the way the maps are set up, you would assume that the closest portion of the United States of America to Africa is Florida, right? It's Maine. It's Maine, shortest trip. But see, Africa is gigantic. You could put Asia on top of Africa. You could put South America on top of Africa. You could put North America on top of Africa. Biggest thing in the world. Do yourself a favor. Since we're doing this critical race theory, do yourself a favor. Look up the original name of Africa. Then go, dang. I ain't going to tell you. The original name Africa. Just look it up. Do yourself a favor. But, like I said, man, these are things that we must teach our children to introduce them to the greatness that we have. Right now, I'm going to go to a small video. And you're going to see some more of our greatness that you saw at the top of the thing. I'm going to show y'all some more of our greatness because that's why we're going to stop priming each other yellow.
Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight Atlanta Mayor and civil rights activist Andrew Young.
Welcome to blackexcellence.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
Andrew Young Jr. became active in the civil rights movement, working with Martin Luther King Jr. in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Entering politics, Young was elected to Congress, served as the first African American ambassador, and later became the mayor of Atlanta. In 1981, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In this original Black Excellence video, we will honor Andrew Young, Atlanta Mayor, United Nations Ambassador, and civil rights leader. So without further ado, let's get started. On March 12, 1932, Andrew Jackson Young Jr. was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the product of a middle-class family. His father was a dentist, his mother a teacher. He had to travel from his neighborhood to attend segregated schools. After graduating early from Howard University, Young chose to study at Connecticut's Hartford Theological Seminary. In 1955, he became an ordained minister. Working as a pastor in Georgia, Young became active in the civil rights movement, organizing voter registration drives in 1954 in the face of death threats. He moved to New York City to work with the National Council of Churches in 1957, then returned to Georgia in 1961 to help lead the citizenship school that tutored African Americans in literacy, organizing, and leadership skills. Though the schools were a success, Young sometimes had trouble connecting with the rural students in the program. After a few years with the National Council of Churches in New York, he returned to Georgia in 1961. As the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was running the citizenship school program, Young became a member of the organization and began working closely with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He coordinated desegregation efforts throughout the South, including the May 3, 1963 March Against Segregation, during which participants were attacked by police dogs. Dr. King valued Young's work, trusting Young to oversee the SCLC when he tried to spend time behind bars. In 1964, Young became the SCLC's executive director. While in this position, he helped draw up the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Young and Dr. King were very close friends and soldiers in the fight for civil rights. Young was also with Dr. King on the day of his assassination in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4, 1968. Following King's death, Young became executive vice president of the SCLC. In 1970, Young left the SCLC to make a run for Congress, but was defeated at the polls. 2 years later, he ran again, and this time, Young was elected to the House of Representatives. Young was the first African American to represent Georgia in Congress since Reconstruction. In his time as a legislator, he supported programs for the poor, educational initiatives, and human rights. He sponsored legislation that established a U.S. Institute for Peace, the African Development Bank, and the Chattahoochee River National Park, while negotiating federal funds for the MARTA, Metro Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, the Atlanta Highway System, and a new international airport for Atlanta. During Jimmy Carter's run for the presidency, Young offered key political support. In 1977, then-President Carter appointed Young to serve as the nation's first African American ambassador to the United Nations. Young left his seat in Congress to take the position. While ambassador, he advocated for human rights on a global scale, such as sanctions to oppose rule by apartheid in South Africa. Young was an architect of the first U.S.-Africa policy grounded in human rights rather than simply Cold War calculus, and he helped negotiate an end to white minority rule in Namibia and Zimbabwe. But Young's greatest accomplishment was his contributions to Atlanta, Georgia. He was instrumental instrumental in the building of the modern-day city. He was elected mayor in 1981 and re-elected in 1985 with nearly 85% of the vote. Hartsfield International Airport, whose development he championed, made it possible for Atlanta to attract 1,100 new businesses, $70 billion in foreign direct investment, and 1 million new jobs to the region during his tenure. It is now the busiest airport in the world. While mayor, the city hosted the Democratic National Convention in 1988. Young also led the successful effort to bring the 1996 Olympic Games to Atlanta. Young's involvement with Africa continued in the years since his term as ambassador. President Bill Clinton appointed him founding chair of the Southern African Enterprise Development Fund. And in 1996, he co-founded Good Works International, where for more than 15 years, he promoted an approach to sustainable economic development in Africa and the Caribbean grounded in profitability and social responsibility. Through the Andrew J. Young Foundation and its partnerships with international agencies and the private sector, he continues to focus on expanding educational opportunity as well as innovative approaches to alleviating hunger and poverty in the U.S. and abroad. While he was at Hartford Theological Seminary in Hartford, Connecticut, Young met his future wife, Jean Childs, a teacher, in 1952. After a brief courtship, the couple married in 1954. They had 4 children, but his wife would lose her battle to liver cancer in 1994. 2 years later, Young remarried Carolyn McLean, an elementary school teacher. Young wrote about his role in the fight for civil rights in 3 books: A Way Out of No Way, An Easy Burden, and Walk in My Shoes. As an esteemed civil rights activist, Young has received multiple accolades that include the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the NAACP's Spingarn Medal. Morehouse College named the Andrew Young Center for Global Leadership in his honor, and Young has taught at Georgia State University's Andrew Young School of Policy Studies.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.
Welcome back. This is HRap This is the Inner Bench podcast on Built for This Network. I'm dropping everything. Dropped everything to start the show. Now, shout out to our elder, Andrew Young. The reason I showed you that is because yellow. It's because it is enough for seeing our trauma. A lot, we got CRT, critical race theory. We're gonna have to start up. Shout out to Larry Daniel Favors. CRT to the second power. That is cultural race theory. Now, everybody's teaching culture, cultural race teaching. Everybody's teaching culture. But whose culture are you learning and who are you looking up to? That's the biggest question. Are you learning about your culture? Are you learning to enhance how awesome you are and how awesome you can be? Forget your mistakes. Forget your missteps. Thank you, brother. Forget your missteps. I don't want to know about your missteps because that was yesterday. You can't write the next chapter of your life reading the old one. So we don't want to know about your missteps. We want to know about what you're going to do tomorrow and what you're going to do in 5 minutes. Let's start off with 5-minute increment. What you going to do in 5 minutes? What you going to do in 20 minutes? What you going to do in an hour? What you going to do at bedtime? What you going to do? What you going to pray for? Things like that. That's what we're going to talk about going forward. We know about the trauma and the Tulsa, Oklahoma beatings and the Dr. King, all that stuff. Dr. King said it was more racism in Chicago than it was in Alabama, and the assassination of Huey P. Newton, and the assassination of Fred Hampton, the assassination of Dr. King, and the assassination of Malcolm X, and the assassination of Medgar Evers. We know about all that trauma. We need to let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Because we need to know about those things. But why, when you talk about us, we talk about trauma. We need to talk about greatness. That's why it is critical race teachings. That's what we're gonna do. For example, I'm going to show you how like I said, we wouldn't send our kids, if we were Jewish, we wouldn't send our kids to the Nazis tonight. We send our kids to these damn wicked ass people teach us these wrong things, and they want to hold on to the wrong things and get mad when we want to uprise. When we want to say, hey, that ain't right. You said it was this. You're a liar. People get mad. Well, you get mad as you want, yellow. You get mad as many times as you want, but the truth is the truth, and the truth don't care who tell it, right? Now, this is one way to stop the oppression that's in our community. We ain't saying nothing else negative. We have to get the negativity out of our communication vehicles. For example, you say black on black crime, you cut that person off because, hey man, Marcus Garvey said it's easier to fix a wilted bush than a destroyed tree. Because old people, they ain't really not willing to change by and large. You can change one or two of them, but by and large, old people, you can't teach dog new tricks. And any other bromide or quip that you want to throw out there, it works. But I'm going to show you something. Do you know we're only part of 2% of the wealth building jobs in America? What are the wealth building jobs? Technology. Again, me and Ray Kev was talking earlier. You see this technology, and then you get scared of math. How in the hell can you be scared of math? You invented math. Remember when you were in school, they talked about the Pythagorean theorem. Because Pythagorean, he was a mathematician, and he created this theorem, and one of the theorems was C equals 2 squared plus a squared plus b squared. That's one of them. And it's not the only one, but that's one of them. And you hear that a squared x equal, you get scared because people told you everybody's not good at math. But how can you not be good at math? Pythagorean wasn't good at math. You know, let me tell you why he wasn't good at math. This is why Pythagorean wasn't good at math. I'm gonna tell you why. Pythagorean wasn't good at math because he stole that idea 2,030 years before he introduced it to the earth. It was some black women that created C equals 2 squared plus B squared. Some black women created that. Black women. So, if black women created the Pythagorean theory, and if it froze, the Pythagorean theorem is a algebraic equation. C equals a squared plus b squared. Scares the hell out of most people. I don't know how, man, all that X, Y, and Z. You get scared, right? Pythagorean didn't invent that. That theory was created 2,030 years before the world was introduced to Pythagorean. 2,030 years. You know, like they tell you Jesus died 2,021 years ago. Add 9 to it, and that's how long before Pythagorean came along and introduced to the world. Kind of like that lie that they tell you. Columbus discovered America. Pythagorean didn't discover that theory was a black woman. See, when you know those things, and it's a bunch of young black girls, I ain't good at math, because they've been told, now you a girl, you ain't good at math, but lies. Because how did they fake that moon landing? That's another conversation, but how did they fake that moon landing? Because a black woman put together the math to fake it. She put up that, this is how y'all get up there, they fake the rest. But we don't want to y'all don't want to get into that with me, but hey, it is what it is. So, if Pythagorean invented the theorem, he didn't invent the theorem, some black women did it. And if you don't believe me, go to the big pyramid in Giza, Egypt, look it up online, you will see the theorem on the walls. It's glyphs, hieroglyphics. They're there. I don't have to lie to you. They're there for you. You know, they wrote these things down so you can never forget how awesome you are. I'm dope because my grandmothers were dope. My grandfathers were dope. My father was dope and my mother was dope. And they're dope because their grandmothers and grandfathers. And they're dope because, and so on and so on. So if we come from all this greatness, why can't we do math? Because our ignorance is valuable. Our ignorance is valuable because if the most creative people in the world start focusing on mathematics, and technology is the way of the world. So you got the way of the world and the most creative people in the world. If they ever get married, it's over for everybody. How is your ignorance valuable? Because if you get into mathematics, all those wham-whams and zoom-zooms that you buy from the, and for those who ain't from Chicago, this is candy and snacks. All those wham-whams and zoom-zooms you buy from the corner store, you going to go buy that corner store. And then everybody going to come to you. So that our Arab brothers and our Asian brothers, they out of business. White people can no longer take advantage of you. You're not paying rent in one apartment for 30 years. You're not paying off somebody else's mortgage, you're paying off yours. Because then the math will teach you. Like I told y'all, remember, every one of my shows ties into each other. What I tell y'all 2 weeks ago, it's time for us to no longer be the horse, it's time for us to be the jockey. Because the horse does all the work, he does all the running, and the jockey go, I'm the man. Time for us to get our ass on the horse. Mathematics is the way. Mathematics is the way. And I told y'all, these are not my theories. All you have to do, go to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He told you this 60 years ago. He told you this years ago. This ain't Brian the smart dude, man. Man, be smart. No. B read a couple books. He read a couple books. You know. That's it. You can do it too. I'm not special. I'm a nerd and proud of it. I'm a nerd. I like learning. You like learning too. We just have to figure out the way for you to learn what you need to learn. If you like, look, anybody can be a doctor. Anybody can be a doctor. Anybody can be a lawyer. Anybody can be a mathematician. All it has to do is be able to be taught to you. I'm an orator learner. I listen and I grab hold to it, and then it forces me to go look. Some people, you can just tell it to them, and like me, you get it. Then some people have to read it. Some people, you must be detailed. That's why we got to stop letting other people teach our kids. They did this test in New York City. They had this standardized test, all the black people and all the brown people failing like I'm MF, right? And they messed around and they started playing a little music to it. Start nodding your head. And the teacher started speaking their language. And it was a higher vibration. And that vibration tapped into those young people. And those young people's scores went through the roof. See? They learned through rhythm. See? Everybody doesn't learn the same. Everybody doesn't learn the same. The dude who created the blood plasma, ironically, he died because he bled to death. But the dude who created the blood plasma was a C student. Had to go to Canada to get his education. Blew out his knee. Came back here and became Charles Drew. But they said he wasn't smart enough. We're smart enough. See, we've been taught that white man equals genius. Now, remember I told you I was going to prime you? For all those people who have been listening since the beginning of the show, y'all heard me say, I'm going to prime you, I'm going to prime you, I'm going to prime you. Some of y'all, what the hell is he talking about, man? If anybody who's been listening from the beginning, write in yellow, any fruit. What's the first fruit you think of when I said that? I'm not going to let y'all do it because we on a little bit of, we're on the time constraint. Most of y'all will put in banana or lemon. Because I've said yellow about 60 times during this show. I primed you for that. And the reason I primed you for that's to show you how if banana or lemon popped in your head, even if you don't put it in there, if banana or lemon popped in your head, because I made you think yellow for the exactly, Ivan. I made you think banana by saying yellow 50 times. So if I made you think banana or lemon by saying yellow all these times, guess what happens to you when you see a black on black crime and every time somebody, black people, we're going to get the poverty and we're going to get the crime. You think we criminals and goddamn broke ass people. And guess what? By and large, for the most part, most of us are above what they call the poverty line. So why you think of us? Guess what? Oh, yeah, there's more black people. Remember that lie that they used to tell? Why is there more black men in jail than in college? That was a lie when he said it. It was a cool line in a rap song, but that's a damn lie. Now, we get caught more than people. Exactly. See, the brothers are putting in banana because I kept saying yellow. So if I keep saying crime, I keep saying drugs, I keep saying poverty, you're going to think that's what you are. And you're not. You're better than that. You're better than that. And you know you're better than that. That's why I say our ignorance is profit to everybody. Dr. Claude Anderson, our ignorance is profit to everybody. We know some of the best cooks on the history of the world look like me. Fat guys or some fat black women. Your grandmama cook better than any TV, and she ain't using this many cups and this many spoonfuls. And your grandmama put you a meal on the table and you ready to slap somebody. We're geniuses. You're good at math, you have no interest in math. I was a C student in school. I cut more than anybody at Westinghouse Vocational High School. I cut so much at Westinghouse Vocational High School that there's people who think I stayed at Lincoln Park because I was cutting, going up to my old school. I started my career first couple of weeks, first little while at Lincoln Park, and I transferred to Westinghouse. And some of my friends at Lincoln Park never thought I left because I cut so much. How did I graduate? Because I was good enough to get the best possible grade. I was good enough. Hey, I come on, play football. She gonna kick my ass if I don't get any grades. I gotta play football. Boom. Now I got my grades. But guess what? So that meant the third market period I had to work my ass off. Because when it got hot, I was taking my ass to the mall. Right at Lincoln Park. I'm out there with Lil Mike. I'm out there with Pat Chris. I'm out there with Alan Glover. I'm out there with Craig Gann. I'm out there with Lyle Gray, Sean Jones, and Londae Kelly. I'm out there with my boys. You make you wonder, what the hell you transfer for? I don't know, man. I was 14. I was stupid. But I was a genius, clearly. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. I'm telling you what's inside of you, too. I'm not special. In my way, I'm on a special way. I'm special. But I'm not any different than you. I don't have any abilities that you don't have. People always talk about achievement gaps. No, it's opportunity gaps. Because if you had the opportunity, like, I want to be a trumpet player and a saxophone player. My school didn't have that. Lincoln Park did. Just imagine if I stayed in Lincoln Park, you'd never be hearing this. Because I'd be on tour, Dizzy Gillespie style. See what I'm saying? Opportunity gaps. Wasn't no computer lab at Westinghouse. One in Lincoln Park. Wasn't no drama courses. One was at Lincoln Park. Never know what I could have been there. But I love my brothers and sisters at Westinghouse Vocational High School. I wouldn't be the man I am today without them. Joe Looney, Julius Rankin, Cedric Trotter, Larry Brandy, Alex Brandy, Walter Lindsay. My brothers. Just as good as my brothers that I just named a few minutes ago. Good brothers. Good brothers. But it is an achievement gap because we've been trained, just like I primed y'all to say banana, we've been trained to think white men are geniuses. Watch this. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. That's my brother Mike. This is one which y'all understand. We've been trained to believe that white man equals genius. Here go another prime. Not even with colors. Just be honest. Technology and genius. Technology. Who advanced the technology? Who's the creator of technology in America? You're going to think Zuckerberg. You're going to think Albert Einstein. You're going to think Henry Ford. You're going to think Thomas Edison. No. It's a brother that invented the internet. I can't think of his name right now. I should have wrote it down. It's a brother named Granville Woods. He's the father of the cell phone. This thing right here, Granville Woods, he invented the walkie-talkie. Without the walkie-talkie, there's no this. Thomas Edison stole a brother's. You ever thought about Percy Julian? Look up Percy Julian. Awesome brother. Don't just go, George Washington Carver made the peanut. Get that. No. Thomas Edison didn't invent that. He didn't invent that. Look, if you're an indentured servant, if you're a person who's working, your mind is built to make things easier for you. If you are paying somebody to do something, you're not trying to make it easy. What the hell you gonna make it easy for? I got to pay Brian ass. I got to pay Mike. He gonna do it. That's why a black man invented the damn dustpan. The dustpan. What white man would invent the dustpan and we cleaning up their damn houses? Come on, y'all. The damn clothes dryer. White men don't do that because they didn't have to do those things. We were doing those things. So stop thinking white man equals genius because that's what you've been taught. Black man invented genius because to live this many years on this damn land under this tyranny and not kill everybody around you takes a level of fucking intelligence that is unmatched. But y'all don't think that way because y'all think, hey man, these brothers, man, these kids stupid. No. Like 50 years ago, when we started to get the Shanikas and the DeAndres and all them those names, they call them weird. That was a subconscious reaching out to the continent to try to reconnect to your Africanism. Like, you know, me, Girly Girl, and Mandela Young, we always talk about Kalunda. Lamont Rollo called himself Kalunda on the episode. They was trying to get to the Africanism. We name ourselves these unique names to reach out of this. How about this? It tells you, don't eat no watermelon because watermelon is some cool stuff. Newsflash. You know why black people eat watermelon? Because our ancestors said we ain't eating that slop, the damn pork they feeding us, and this pig slop they putting us in this poison no more. And we start eating watermelon, and then they made it a bad thing, and now you scared to eat watermelon in front of somebody. But if you eat watermelon, guess what? Fun fact, brothers, the rind on the watermelon is like Viagra. I bet your ass start eating watermelon now, won't you? You won't need no damn pills. The white part of the watermelon is like Viagra, y'all. How about that? How about this? Redneck is not a colloquialism. It's a disease. It's because you're eating too much meat and you stand on the sun and your neck turn red. And it invokes violence and tyranny and oppression. And I'm not joking. It's real. It's real. Look it up. Let me say. Great things, brother. We're thirsty for information, but Google Minds, instead of picking up the hard copy of a book and do the research, I didn't make it out of the grammar school. I'm very intelligent. Yeah, hey, I know. You my brother. That is my oldest brother right there. Me and him said the same father. That's my brother. That's my brother. Insanely intelligent dude. But you know what? My brother been brainwashed. He been brainwashed. Because at one point in his life, he was doing a lot of things wrong. Because he probably didn't think he could do right. But the man is a fucking genius. I don't even think he know he a genius. He come up out of it now. But I know my brother's a fucking genius. Because he a fucking Williams. He come from our father. And that's why he's a damn genius. Because we from some of the smartest people in the history of the world. My Uncle Otis helped start one of the street organizations. Master Chef. He can do anything he wants, just like my brother. And I'm expecting great things from my brother because he is us. I am him. I'm not doing anything that my brother can't do. Period. He ain't doing nothing I can't do. We're not doing anything that you can't do. But that's why I say our ignorance is profit. $40,000 a year per man in the state penitentiary. Profit. Drop out of high school, you're gonna go to jail. They call them Iowa tests here in Chicago. Those Iowa tests in 4th grade, if you don't score high on that, they say you're going to penitentiary. Why would you understand that instead of just working with people to get it? And you are right. He got to go pick up my nephews. Salute to my brother. Why would you believe in that and start trying to give opportunities? See, because some people learn with music, as I just showed y'all. Some people learn oratorily. Some people learn with the reading. Like he said, he learned with the reading. It's on you. It's on you. It's on you. It is definitely on you. But everybody don't learn it. I mean, everybody don't get it because we bought into it because we want to be like the people who hurt us. Ooh, that was deep. You want to be like the people who hurt you. But you shouldn't want to be that way. You just want to be better. That's why we don't hate. Oh man, the Nation of Islam, they hate white people. Nah, they just identify the flaws in the white character in the United States of America. They're not saying every white person on earth is horrible. It's the white people who are in control of this country in the United States of America. They are evil. They are wicked. They are devils. I say it. Yeah. I say it. Let me tell you how they devils. Merrick Garland. He is the Attorney General for the United States of America. He said he don't want to arrest the people who were part of the insurrection January 6, 2021, who tried to overthrow the government, who threatened to kill the vice president, who threatened to kill the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. They shouldn't go to jail because they will be radicalized. And if they're radicalized, they might come out and do something crazy. That's why y'all got them damn guns, right? That's why y'all got them damn twisted ties that you slamming my brothers on the ground to do, right? Well, hey, welcome to the club. But guess what? It ain't nobody that's ever going to watch this from my community that don't have a brother, cousin, uncle, aunt, friend, sister, niece, or nephew who haven't been in one of them damn houses of repute waiting longer than they were supposed to wait for a speedy trial. How about this? I got a sister, I'm not going to say her name. She in the issue right now. She having the issue right now. My sister from my neighborhood. She not my physical sister. She my sister like that. Her bond right now, $750,000. The United States Constitution states you should not have a bond that exceeds your abilities. Meaning, if you can't afford $250,000, this is your violation of constitutional rights to give you a bond that high. Now, how many people who living in a working class situation can afford $25,000 to get it to a judge? Violation of constitutional rights. How many times you know people that have been in, like he said, they just gonna get radicalized and we don't know what's gonna happen to them and they being incarcerated for too long and we don't know what's. Well, how about this brother named Khalif Browder? Y'all thought he stole a damn book bag, put him in Rikers Island, one of the most disgusting county jails in the history of the world, and it's a prison. County jail's a prison at the same time. He got out 3 years later, he killed himself. Who was worried about Khalif Browder? So, hey, you try to take over the government, get your ass in jail. But Merrick Garland said, hey, I don't know. I don't lock up my people. This is what I told y'all. Civics is part of our education. Because when you know the rules, you can beat the rules. See, we ain't playing this game to play. We're playing to win. We're playing to win. We're playing it to win. If you don't understand this, then my brother Ahmaud Arbery, ain't nobody talking about Ahmaud. We talk about Brother George. Salute to our ancestor George. We got a brother named, and for the lady who said, if you don't bring up women, shut the hell up. Back to the story. Talk about Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery, it's another brother. His trial coming up. They was picking a jury last week. But let's keep this in mind. In Georgia, 100 years before get this. This trial took place 100 years before Ahmaud Arbery's jury picking. To the date. Ahmaud Arbery was, the people who murdered Ahmaud Arbery were following a law that was set out in 1863 in the Confederacy that hasn't been radicalized in the state of Georgia about police, community police. Yeah, I'm having a citizen's arrest. That was so they could capture our ancestors and lynch them. It was a brother that was 100 years ago. I can't think of his name. Damn it, I should have wrote his name down. Can't think of his name. Fuck, I should have wrote his name down. I'm sorry. 100 years ago in Georgia, he was accused of doing something. A lynch mob showed up, grabbed his brother out the jail, cut off a 14-year-old, put out a butcher knife, cut off his ear. They hung him. 2,000 people were there. And only 8 of them went to trial. All white jury sent all of them home. Brothers and sisters in Georgia, y'all better make sure that don't happen again. Y'all better make sure that don't happen again. I'm just letting you know. Y'all better make sure that don't happen again. And this is why we have to get involved, get into it. Because, see, we've been fooled into believing Make America Great Again is a call to the 50s. But they ain't looking for Richie Cunningham when they say make America Great Again. They talking about the 1850s. The 1850s. So, what you gonna do? In the words of the great Jim Brown talking to Richard Pryor, he burned himself up. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Richard? What you gonna do, man? My elder Joe Madison always say, yeah, all that, but what you gonna do? See, we continue to look at these stories on TV. Man, the man in Chicago got shot. They never say what color he is, but you always think, man, brothers need to cut it out. Man in New York got shot. I mean, the brothers need to stop. Man in LA get shot. Man, the brothers need to stop. But did you hear about this story last week in Floyd County, Georgia? Tulsa High School. White boys walking around with the rebel flag, because that is not the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag looks more like the Georgia state flag, which is the greatest bamboozle in the history of the world. Look at the Confederate flag and look at the Georgia state flag, and you're going to be mad. But back to the point. Rome, Georgia, Tulsa High School, a couple white boys run around with the rebel flag, the big orange flag with the blue cross and the stars on it. That is the battle flag. That is not the Confederate flag. Look at the Confederate flag, look at the Georgia state flag, and you're going to go, God damn, we got bamboozled again. But these white boys run around with the flag. Now some sisters and some brothers go, what the hell? And then they want to fight, right? You know, they try to do the protest get down. Exactly. My man Big Illinois talk about birth of a nation again. Exactly. Thank you, Big Illinois. Thank you, Big Illinois. Again, Floyd County, Tulsa High School in Rome, Georgia. White guys waving a rebel flag. Yelling out racial epithet. You know what racial epithet mean? That magic word that if you say it around my neighborhood, you can get your ass. Yeah. But the sisters and brothers stood up. They want to do a protest. Some white folks, some of the white students go, yeah, man, y'all 730 with that, y'all crazy. Some Latino brothers, sisters, oh man, what's up? They get together, we protesting this. The police and the principal suspended those kids. And if you're caught with a flyer promoting that protest, you get suspended too. Did any of the white students get suspended? Nah. Any Latino students get suspended? Nah. The brothers and sisters did. These are the things that I'm talking about. The idiot box didn't tell you that. Did it? Because ain't did nobody bleed. It's because if it bleeds, it leads. But they brushed that right up under the table. But we heard about Cardi B. Yeah, had a new car and Megan Thee Stallion got some hot sauce with a cheese hanging out and all this. We get that, but we don't get this. We don't get Ahmaud Arbery. Did y'all know they was picking a jury for Ahmaud Arbery? I bet you didn't. And did y'all know in 1860, that's the laws that man and his son and his friend who hit our brother with a car. See, they ain't tell you they hit the brother with a car, did they? They ain't tell you that part. See, these are the things, that's why I said critical race theory, critical race teaching is what we're going to do from here on out. See, you separate yourself. I'm a Baptist. I can't be listening to Farrakhan. I love the minister. I can't be listening to church people. The brothers in the nation don't do that. They don't do that. I'm very well acquainted with them good brothers. But see, y'all been, the Muslims, man, they gonna blow something up. Stop. See, man, like, let's just give you Chicago as an example. Man, them dudes on the west side, they ghetto. Dudes on the south side, they bougie. Dudes on the north side, they gay. Meanwhile, rich people raping your ass. Meanwhile, back at the back cave, the rich people renting. The rich people are winning, y'all. Keep hating if you want. You know, the LBGTQ, you can hate Dave Chappelle, and then you can sign up with them to hate Dave Chappelle. Why you ain't signing up as working class and poor people to hate the rich people? Because you want to be rich one day and you don't want nobody to hate you. They're gonna hate your ass too. If you get look, go play the Powerball. You still got 2.5 hours. You got 2 hours to play the Powerball. Go play it, and they gonna hate your ass if you win. So we're not gonna do this. We're not going to do this. We're not gonna play the segregation game. We are part of a tribe. We are part of a tribe, and our tribe needs to step away from the madness. And we need to start reading. As my brother left, we need to start reading more. We need to do more research. We need to do more cross-referencing. And we need to do more communication with each other. Otherwise, you're headed down a slippery slope. And you're going to bust your ass when you hit the ground. Now, next week, I got my man Ray the Cav on here. We're going to talk about gun control. We're going to talk about weaponry. We're going to talk about everything in regards to firearms. And why you should and should not be rolling with these gun control laws, why you should or how you should and should not pick a firearm, how you should and should not take care of it, and why you need or why you shouldn't have one, but we think you need. I'm announcing the pre-shows every week, man, because it's time for me to get organized, get involved, get into it. Tomorrow, Thursday, 6 p.m., I'll be back to talk about education and how we need to move forward with education in the black community. Education and how we should move forward in the black community. I'm pretty sure Ray the Care is going to be there. I'm pretty sure Charlotte going to be there. I'm sending out notifications tonight, and I'm going to write out these questions tonight. I told you I was procrastinating, but I just made the procrastination rule today, so cut a brother some slack. I'm working. As the people at the church say, God's still working on me. Monday, we're going to talk about Black Power. Amazon Prime people, Black Power is a documentary. Me, my brother Doc, my brother Ben, my brother Wilkes. We in there. 8:30 the new time, Central Standard Time. 9:30 Eastern Standard, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Everybody should be good. We more gooder. Now, with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. I need y'all to continue to support Bill for this network. I need you, if you're listening on the Spreaker.com side, I need you to hit the like button at heart. I need you to subscribe to the Spreaker.com side. Please, thank you. We in there like swimwear. And then I need you to hit this. I need you to do this. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And then hit that bell. That bell will give you notifications anytime I'm coming on air. And then I keep dropping this signs. And we can keep expanding our community base. And we can get rid of the bad people and enhance the good people of the world. Primarily, I'm speaking of my tribe. But if you want to assist my tribe, you are welcome. You are welcome. Or help build your tribe, and then you're going to make peace with my tribe. With that being said, I want to salute my man Lamont King, the Ghetto Boys, Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib Kweli, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, Craig Smith, Al Sharpton, the Queen Heather B, Clay Kane, Larique Daniel, the Goddess, Larique Daniel Favors, the Elder, the Encyclopedia, Joe Madison, Baba Greg Carr, the Walk-In Information Tool, and the Queen Karen Hunter. And everybody else who bring me support, man. My kids, everybody, man. My people. I love my people. I love my people. I love my people. I want y'all to, if you got time, go over to Queens 3 and King, my man Dalton, Alicia, Mika, and Nicole on BS3, right here on YouTube, BS3 Network. And then continue to support, man. That's all I ask, man. And y'all always know I salute I always salute Reggie O'Shea by saying, dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. Salute to my man Craig Smith. And y'all already know I'm HRap B. Y'all already know. Do something good before something is done to you. 2 fingers, 1 word. And y'all already know how I end every show by saying, if you need something, if I owe you something, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.